hold on for much longer because we need to keep to our schedule. So let me just have the honor of first introducing our speaker for this session, Mr. Sarb Sembhi. Mr. Sarb Sembhi has worked researching into the vulnerabilities of network-based CCTV systems and access control systems. And during this time, he advised on specifying secure network CCTV systems, securing existing systems, speaking to police and local authority professionals. Today, he'll be presenting to us an end-to-end analysis of securing network CCTV systems. Do join me in welcoming Mr. Sarb Sembhi.
Thank you very much. This is the first time I've spoken in Malaysia, and I'm really pleased to be here. But this is the first time for me. It's exciting because of the fact that I don't have to sit here pressing things on a computer. I like to walk around quite a lot, so I'm going to do that. And all I have to do is click one of these things, and that's pretty good. Right, okay, let's get going. This is basically a slide on my backgrounds and my interest. I started into my career in development, project management, done a lot of database work, web-based development. I learned security through the development route, done a lot of secure coding. I have an interest in network hardware drive devices and their security, software security. So there's lots there. I used to put down here my biography. That's not very interesting, so I like to move on to the sort of things that are interesting. I've got a lot of slides to go through. What you'll find is there's probably more slides than I'm going to have a chance to go through. And because of that, and because of the fact that I've got a lot of information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of go through my slides, but I may not follow them exactly as we've got them. And I'll give you a lot of information here, there, and everywhere. But basically, I'll cover as much as I can. If there's anything that I've missed out, don't worry, I am around, and you can get hold of me, and I can give you more information. So the aim is that I'm going to try and pack a lot in. Session objectives, just to give you a background behind CCTVs. There are a lot of CCTVs in network in law enforcement. Vulnerabilities and implementation. What I'm not going to cover is the why there are vulnerabilities or why you'd want to look into them in great detail. I'm not going to cover details of exploits and stuff like that. I'm not going to cover, what I will cover is the non-technical vulnerabilities that are inherent in such systems. Now, those are quite important because those are the sort of things that you're not going to be able to pick up from books. You're not going to pick up those from any internet sites. Those are things that you only learn by experience. So those are the sort of things I'm definitely going to spend a bit more time on. I have got more slides than I've got time for, as I said. And what I'm going to hope to show you is that this technology isn't really any different from any other technology you guys work with. So with that, I'm going to get going. Oops. Right, a couple of things that I need to point out. My position and view of security. I view security, and we divide it up in our organization into three. We believe that, we have a division in secure coding and secure coding frameworks. We have a division which looks at secure data. And as far as we're concerned, everything else comes into architecture, infrastructure, and so on. So having said that, that's the way that we like to try and work when we're working with CCTV systems. What was and is CCTV system? Now, when it was originally, when CCTV first came about, the way it worked was you had a camera and you had a monitor and a viewing station, and it was connected through a cable. And that was closed, and that's why it's called a closed-circuit television. And it was actually closed because you couldn't get into it, you couldn't do anything unless you try and snap the wire, put something else in between, and in those days, it really was closed. CCTV has been around for 50 years. However, in the last few years, there's been a variety of things that have been called CCTV. The first of these is what I call open local broadcast TV. The second is open network TV. The third is closed network CCTV. Now, the last two of these are the main things that we're going to be looking at within this session. But the first of these three that I've got down here, I need to mention because they're very important. And you're going to come across a lot of people who would tell you that what I call open broadcast television is actually wireless CCTV. What I call open broadcast TV is what, if you look at all the adverts or you see equipment, is what's called wireless CCTV. Why it's not wireless CCTV is because it transmits on specified bandwidth, which are agreed by local laws. And these vary from country to country. It could be 1.2, 2.4, or 5. And I say 1.2, some countries it's 1.3, but effectively you know what I mean. And it works within short distances. I'm going to give you an example of this in a short while. The technology is used for baby monitors. So if you go into your local electronics store and you see a baby monitor with a TV, that's the sort of technology this is. It's not real CCTV. It's used in shops, hotels, small businesses, and last year and part of this year, we undertook a survey around London. We went out with some equipment and we tried to find out where people were using this stuff, because it is very, very open and it is broadcast and anyone can pick it up. And we came across some embassies that had it as well, which was very, very surprising that you wouldn't think that embassies would just buy equipment from a local electronics store and not worry about the security aspects of it. It is very fast growing in usage, sold, as I said, as wireless CCTV. Is this really CCTV? Are we really having this discussion? The reason I put that in because it's not CCTV, it's not closed, it is broadcast on an open bandwidth. It's the sort of technology which, you know, your cordless phones that you use at home, it's the same technology in cordless phones. It's that simple, it's that straightforward. And I seriously do believe someone should get sued on the Trade Descriptions Act. And in England, hopefully, I'm going to be able to get someone or find someone who's willing to start a case, because I think there should be someone who does sue under trade descriptions. It's not wireless CCTV. Yeah? I'm going to give a quick demo now. The way I'm going to demo this is I've got a camera here, which is what I call wireless open broadcast. And I'm going to ask this volunteer here basically to write something, and we're going to point the camera to what they've written. Let me just switch that on. It is on now, yep. And then I'm going to give this little device here, which is a nice, neat little device. It will pick up bandwidth from about 900 to 5. And someone on this side, you're going to look at this and you're going to see what. Yep. So, what did he write? Can you tell me what he wrote? CCTV sucks. Is that right? Yeah. Now, this little device can pick up, as I said, what... There you go. Thank you for that. This little device does pick up on a wide range of bandwidth. And these devices aren't that expensive. Anyone can get a hold of them. And they will pick up, as I said, what I call short-range broadcast TV. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. And they are used in, as I said, not-so-cool toys. The reason I say not-so-cool toys is because we use this equipment for when we're doing pen testing. We go into an organisation. If we're supposedly doing surveillance for someone, you can fit these cameras into anything and everything you want. We've got in our office these little cameras where we use them when we go places. For example, in a pen, at the front of the pen is a camera, top of the pen is a microphone. So if we're going and we want to record it, we've got a transmitter in the pocket. We can use that device. We can record everything that's going on. We can have them in glasses, so it's right in the center, sunglasses. We've got them in earpieces. You can stick them in plants. You can stick them in a clock. You can stick them in what do they call them? Fire alarms, smoke alarms, smoke detectors. You can fit them into almost anything you want to. So they have a use, but they are certainly not wireless CCTV because they're certainly not closed. Yep. I wanted to spend just about enough time so that people definitely would understand this is TV of some sort, but it's not wireless CCTV. Yeah? Okay. But if you're interested in any of these cool toys, let me know, and I can tell you where you can get stuff from if you really are interested. Right, open network CCTV. It's open to all, open to control by all, and open with restrictions, open as an extranet. That's the different types of open systems you're going to come across. Those which really are supposed to be open to all. Absolutely anyone and everyone on the internet can access them. Nobody really cares because it's nothing of value. As far as the person with the cameras concerned. So these are the sorts of cameras, if you search under Google, whenever I talk about CCTV cameras, people say, oh yeah, you can search them for Google. Is that what you really do? You know, you do Google hacking. Not quite, but if you did look up cameras on the internet, you will find some cameras which are open tool, and there's cameras which are in universities, in zoos and stuff like that. So they're open tool. Then you've got some which are open to control by all, which means, again, those ones that may be in a zoo or in a museum, the aim is that you can look at the exhibits and zoom in, and you can do a whole range of things. That's the purpose of those ones. Open with restrictions. They are open for viewing, but you cannot change anything, supposedly. And then lastly, open as an extranet. Now, these ones are supposedly controlled within an environment in the same way that you might put things in your extranet. And that's really what the main topic is today that I'm covering. Yep. Closed network CCTV. These are rare to find, as it's like boxing in a PC, in case someone attacks it. So basically, you do not find network CCTV systems which are closed within a network. And the reason you don't find it, it's just, as I said there, it's just like having a PC. You put it in a box. If you don't want it to get hacked, you put it in a box, you leave it somewhere, and you just don't connect it to anything. About as useful as that. If you don't connect a PC to things, you know, you're not going to find it very useful. So one of the purposes in terms of having CCTV, and one of the advantages that is sold, open network CCTV sold, is the fact that you can enable people who need to look at different things to be able to look at them for surveillance and a whole variety of other reasons. For example, let's say around London you've got an area where there's a university, there's a hospital, and there's a big shopping centre. Now, if you've got someone who's committed a crime, they could go from one CCTV system an area where one CCTV system is used to an area where completely different CCTV systems used, and the ownership is different as well. So because the ownership's different, and the university and the hospital and the local authority want the police to be able to track the person from one place to another, they need their system to be open. So because they need their system to be open so the police can view it, that's really what this refers to, because if you didn't have it open, you might as well just lock it all up and not use it. Defeat some of the advantages offered. As I said, if you put it into a box, it does defeat the advantages. And there are some that do exist, but not in law enforcement. Law enforcement ones, as I said, are definitely open, and they use them all over the place. In England, you may or may not know that we've got the most cameras anywhere around the world. We've got a camera at every main motorway junction, facing both ways, so we know who goes off, who comes on. We've got them on zebra crossings. We've got them in shopping centres. We've got them absolutely everywhere. Yeah? And those are the law enforcement ones, the ones that law enforcement have access to. Unfortunately, some do exist due to the ignorance of installers and sometimes politics. As I said, most systems are sold open as being an advantage. However, except in the fact that you've got to secure them, if you buy them and you close them, what you're doing is you are reducing the functionality that they were built for. You're also reducing the opportunity that law enforcement likes to be able to share data. And that's really what law enforcement are very interested in. And as I said, you don't get many that are completely closed. They'll usually be local and using fibre optics. And there's a clue there. The ones that use fibre optics, who can afford fibre optics? Most of us can't. It is very, very expensive. And the ones that use fibre optics are usually for military, government, and those types of uses. We're not going to discuss that in this session very much. Right. What law enforcement trying to do when they're using CCTV and how they justify. Some of the politics around this is quite important to understand, because if you get an understanding of the background politics, you will understand how and why certain cameras are used. What I mean by certain cameras is the certain manufacturers, the certain types of system, the certain functionality. Yep. The different cameras that they use, one of the reasons is obviously to reduce antisocial behaviour. You are being watched. We know who you are. We've seen you before. Don't do that. So it's trying to stop you doing anything bad. Reducing petty crime.